And a good Thursday morning. Welcome to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Alongside my good friend Steve Hare, I'm Eric Granstrom filling in for Dan Kuntz, who is off lollygagging, playing some golf or something like that.
On assignment.
Yeah, on assignment. There you go. It is the 17th of May, 2018. And it looks like as we get nearer the weekend, the weather's kind of degrading for us here, Steve.
Yeah, well, I guess degrading. I guess one man's ceiling is another man's floor.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Get rid of the rain now before the cherry harvest, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And the pollen, with that wind blowing yesterday, I was driving around last night and my eyes were on fire.
Yeah.
I don't know what our pollen count is, but it's got to be off the roof right now.
Well, I was camping last weekend and I noticed when we left the campsite, there was all kinds of pollen on my windshield. So it's out there, folks.
We will get to your forecast coming up in just a little bit. Maybe some thunder boomers coming into north central Washington here tonight. So we'll keep an eye on that for you. First of all, let's take a look at what's happening around our valley with our camera look as we wake up Wenatchee Valley.
Look at that.
And a gorgeous view of a very strong running and high Columbia River. Right through the Wenatchee Valley, of course. Our cameras around the valley brought to you by Localtel's Sky-Fi. That's a gorgeous view. Enjoy the morning while we have it because clouds are moving in later today. And like I said, maybe some thunder showers coming up tonight. But a gorgeous morning here in the Wenatchee Valley. All right, Kat, let's go around the horn here and see if I can figure out what cameras we're looking at. Well, that's easy. You're giving me a softball here early. That's up just past Omi Gardens and looking down towards the Wenatchee Valley.
Looks like they're spilling water this morning.
Yeah, well, it's been, all the gates have been, spill gates been open for several days now, trying to get rid of some of that excess flow. And you know, they're so smart. They can figure out the snowpack and what they can anticipate for water levels. And they drew Lake Roosevelt down lower than they normally do, just to prepare for this inundation of water.
And I'm sure the folks up at Okanagan are very thankful that we're releasing this water.
Yeah. So there you go, Ottobashan Bridge in the foreground there, Wenatchee Valley in the background on a gorgeous Thursday morning.
It's springtime in the apple capital of the world.
Let's go to camera 3, or our third view this morning.
Oh, look at this.
Okay, so now we're up at Lake Wenatchee, aren't we?
Is that Cougar?
Yeah. That's Lake Wenatchee. That's looking up past the lake, I think, towards the
White River?
Yeah, so the lake is on the
right, the lake. So if you whip the camera around to the right, Lake Wenatchee is over to your right. So we're looking up from Lake Wenatchee.
Wetlands.
And, well, yeah, that normally you don't see all that water. And that tells you about the snowmelt that's happening all over north central Washington right now.
Spectacular shot, though.
Yeah, absolutely. I keep wanting to zoom in on that camera and see if we can find a moose there someday.
That'd be cool.
Wetlands down there. All right.
I just saw one jump, though, Derek.
What's our next camera here, Kat? And we say, good morning, Kashmir.
That's Steins Hill.
That's the Apple Annie's camera, I think is what we call it. But man, I'll tell you what, for anybody who visits this area this time of year, how could you not want to just pick up and move here?
I did. I did. In fact, it was this time of the year that we first visited Wenatchee and just fell in love, I tell you.
Yeah, it's an easy place to fall in love with, that's for sure. Thanks to Sky-Fi for providing us our camera view this morning here for the Wenatchee Valley. As we take a look at our weather forecast for north central Washington and the Wenatchee Valley today. Going to be another warm one today, but we are looking at increasing clouds as the day progresses. 79 for our high today. A little bit of wind lingering from last night. Those winds should diminish as the day progresses out of the northwest. Tonight, that's what we're looking at. Scattered showers, maybe even some thunder shower activity, especially after 11 o'clock. Low tonight at 55. Tomorrow we'll see cloudy skies again lingering with thunder showers possibly in the morning hours. Early. This is before we even come in to do Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. And then as we look at the weekend, slight chance of showers on Saturday and Sunday, but we'll see a peak of sunshine here and there. It'll be a typical spring weekend here in north central Washington. If you don't like the weather, wait 15 minutes and it'll change.
Kind of balmy out there this morning.
Yeah, 60 degrees here in the Wenatchee Valley, and the humidity rather high right now, 56%. That is very high for what we're used to. So as you get up and get going this morning, you get out of the shower and you feel like you got to take another shower. Or maybe that's just me. We are here on this Thursday morning, the 17th of May. We're a day tomorrow away from the anniversary of Mount St. Helens.
Oh,
of course,
goodness.
A big anniversary here in Washington State.
We'll have some video of that tomorrow morning.
Yes, we will. We will.
And
Speaking of video, there was some excitement in Orondo last night, I hear.
Yeah, we had a little training exercise up there that we'll tell you about.
Ah, okay. All right.
Also, we got some great drone footage of our flooding here in the Wenatchee area. We had Brandon out yesterday, our drone photographer, taking pictures, and we'll share that with you. Also, we've got a special guest in the second half hour today.
Yeah, we've got
Zachary Miller.
Zachary Miller, who's running for the District 2 position for the Chelan County Commission. He will join us here in the last half of the show. We'll get to know him a little bit more. Steve will take care of those duties. Of course, we've got Mike Magnotti. Everybody's entitled to his opinion. Sports news. Big win last night for the Eastmont Wildcats soccer team, and it is round number 4, or game number 4 for the Wenatchee Wild at the RBC Cup. And Arch Ecker's been doing a lot of math. He sent me an email last night, 11 o'clock at night. It's about this long, and it talks about all the math potentials for how Wenatchee could be the #1 seed going into the semifinals on Saturday.
Well, I'll tell you what, they're looking really, really good right now. They're on a roll, and I'll tell you what, it's really kind of neat because the Wenatchee Wild is only the second U.S.-based team to ever play in this tournament.
Yeah, and have a chance, a really good chance of winning the whole darn thing. Of course, the Canadians are not too thrilled about that possibility.
No, and I'm sure that there's going to be some tough play there in the finals if they make it that far.
Absolutely. We'll keep our fingers crossed to that. We'll tell you more about that in sports coming up. Also, Steve Hare will have your latest local news. That's on the way next. It is 7 minutes past the hour, and Wake Up Wenatchee Valley continues here on this Thursday on the NCW Live channel right after this.
What's your Automocha emergency?
It's a Frappuccino mocha with whip.
The espresso shakes are my most favorite because I can get any flavor. Peanut butter chocolate for pita.
Definitely the espresso shakes.
My favorite is the mocha for pitas.
A peach Red Bull.
Golfers, register now for Cascade Medical Foundation's 16th Annual Golf Tournament on Monday, June 18th at the Leavenworth Golf Club. Your registration of $150 per person includes 18 holes of golf and cart, all activities and contests, and lunch and dinner. A raffle and live auction will be held. All proceeds will support the lab at Cascade Medical Center. There are limited spaces available. Get your tickets now by registering online or give us a call today.
And now it's time for your local news update with Steve Hare.
Good morning and welcome to the 17th day of May. Again, I'm Steve Hare. Here's some of the stories we're following this morning. First of all, swollen rivers and streams as the big meltdown continues in the Cascades. Columbia River right now flowing at 300,000 cubic feet a second. That's the highest flow in decades. NCW Live's Grant Olson joined Chelan County PUD officials yesterday at Walla Walla Point Park to get the message out about the dangers of high water on the Columbia.
This behind me is the Columbia River here at Walla Walla Point Park, and as you can see, it's totally come up over the path behind me as well as over the walking bridge. In fact, it's flowing over like a fast-moving creek or river right now, and the PUD says this situation is going to get much worse before it gets better.
Well, the water is definitely higher than normal, so something we're concerned about, and definitely concerned about our park patrons' safety. So that's why we wanted to talk with you about that today.
And one thing people need to keep in mind is, we've had a lot of nice weather, hot weather, and people want to get to the water. We live by a beautiful body of water. It's a draw, but there's a lot of dangers involved in this high water.
Absolutely. Our parks are a great place to come out and recreate, but when we see this high water and you see the safety signage and ribbon behind you, we just want folks to know that we're concerned for their safety. And if it is marked as closed or we do have out ribbon, we mean that. It's for your safety.
And there's more dangers than just high water. We're seeing some debris now that's come up from the water because it fluctuates so much, and also some slippery banks and things like that, right?
Absolutely. I don't know if you can see behind us here, the bridge we have closed. There's debris stacking up on the north side of that. We also have debris that has come up into our lawn, which has been a challenge for, of course, mowing. And yeah, we're concerned about whatever is in that debris for our park patrons. So definitely need to be aware of it.
So how long do you expect this to last then?
I think that's a great great question. You know, what I'm hearing is through the end of the month. Of course, that's subject to Mother Nature and temperature. So yeah, we typically don't see the 90s this early, and that's led to this runoff.
And now we might have some rain in the forecast, possibly a thunderstorm with heavy rain, and that can't help either.
That's right. You know, the more water you add, the higher it gets out here. So we just want to remind folks that, again, to keep out of these areas. There's reasons why we cordon them off, and we just really care about their safety.
Many area residents I talked to today say they haven't seen flooding like this in decades, and PUD officials want to remind everyone that with our beautiful spring weather right now, everyone wants to get to the water, but pay attention to this red caution tape. Be safe and be alert. Grant Olson, NCW Life News.
And again, it only takes a moment for the current to take you out of reach of the shoreline. Drownings every year in Chelan and Douglas County, including fatalities. Meanwhile, as you see, the Columbia River is swollen, but it's those tributaries that are also causing some problems. In fact, we have the latest report on high water flood stage levels right now for Mission Creek near Cashmere, also Peshastin Creek, Icicle Creek, Chumstick Creek, and Nason Creek, all at flood stage levels right now, folks, so please be careful out there. Well, it looked like the real thing last night when a Rondo area home erupted into flames, but it was only a training exercise for crews with Chelan County Fire District 4 in Rondo. The older single-story wood frame home was located off Highway 97. Flames from the fire were visible from the highway. The exercise was labeled a success, and thanks to the Rondo Firefighters Association for sharing these photos. We have more on our Facebook page as well. Wenatchee Defense Attorney Kyle Mott is seeking election to position 2 on the Chelan County District Court bench. The Eastmont High School and Gonzaga University graduate hoping to succeed Nancy Harmon, who is retiring. Mott says he's also hoping to buck a recent trend of electing former prosecutors to the bench.
You know, I'm a defense attorney, a public defender, and the previous 3 judges in Chelan County District Court have all been prosecutors. Retiring Judge Judith McCauley in Douglas County is a prosecutor, a former prosecutor, and her appointed replacement, Judge Bigger, is also a prosecutor. And these are great people, but I think that there is a need for some balance in background in the local judiciary, and I'd ask for your vote to help us provide that.
Now, Mott earned his law degree from Chapman University School of Law. His legal experience is varied, having worked as a court clerk and a legal extern for the U.S. District Court of California. His community service includes a term as an East Wenatchee City Planning Commissioner and a volunteer with the Washington State Apple Blossom Festival. Mott's interview, by the way, you'll see that tomorrow in its entirety on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. It's also available on demand on our website at ncwlife.com. Officials in Moses Lake yesterday, or actually earlier this week, broke ground on the new 70,000 square foot workforce education center at Big Bend College. The program had been housed in buildings that date back decades to when the college campus was located at Larson Air Force Base. Construction expected to last about 18 months for the main building. A separate facility will house the aviation maintenance program. Wenatchee's Sunrise Lions Club hosted its annual Police Appreciation Luncheon yesterday at the Convention Center downtown. In fact, I was there to cover that and had an interesting interview as well.
The event is held each year to honor law enforcement and pay homage to those who died in service. This year's keynote speaker, Rex Caldwell, is the Deputy Director of the Washington State Criminal Justice Training Commission. His speech focused on the work that police do in the community, such as volunteering with the Washington State Special Olympics and other charities. He also talked about the current state of law enforcement and how it's portrayed in the media.
It's very meaningful for the officers to understand how much people really do appreciate what police officers do. The media is wonderful. I'm a former public information officer, but I've noted that if somebody does something wrong, it's going to get 1 million hits on YouTube or Facebook instantly. If somebody does something right, it's going to get 50 hits because that officer's mom is going to show it to 49 of her friends. And that's the sum total of how far that'll spread, because good news does not sell newspapers or advertising time on radio or TV.
The luncheon was relatively well attended, included a poignant ceremony in remembrance of those whose lives have been lost in service to their communities. The highlight of the event was the announcement of the Officer of the Year awards. They are Chelan County Sheriff's Deputy Lucas McComas, Douglas County Sheriff's Deputy Thomas Williams, Wenatchee Police Officer Corporal Ryan Weatherman, East Wenatchee Police Detective John Phillips, and Washington State Patrol Trooper B. Jeffrey Eifert. Steve Hare, NCW Life News.
I was impressed by the turnout yesterday, a lot better than in past events, mostly family and friends of those being honored, and again, thanks to the community for its support of our local law enforcement. Well, it's a rare opportunity to walk through some of the most historic buildings and homes here in the Wenatchee Valley, and it's happening this Sunday. Our own Wake Up Wenatchee Valley host, Dan Kuntz, has more on that.
The Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center has teamed up once again with Wenatchee's Historic Preservation Board for the second annual tour. This year's tour includes 6 private homes, the Wells House, the House of Peace Mausoleum, behind the scenes at the museum itself, 2 homes converted to bed and breakfast establishments, and, for the first time, the Cascadian Hotel in downtown Wenatchee. Selena Denko of the museum told me earlier this week on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley the Cascadian has unique details most people don't notice from street level.
This is drone footage of the exterior of the Cascadian Hotel. It really gives you a bird's eye view of the Art Deco facade at the roof line. So most of us, when we walk on the street, don't see that roof line very well. Those are ceramic tiles with the color baked in. Wow. Those ceramic tiles most likely came from the Clayton Brick and Lime Company in Clayton, Washington, which was a gathering place of Italian artisans from Italy because it was a great clay source. The primary function of that company was making sewer pipe, but they also made these beautiful tiles that were arranged on some of the buildings in downtowns all over Washington State, including Wenatchee. So I love this drone footage because you really get to see the beautiful colors that pop out in that Art Deco decoration. And on this tour, you'll be able to actually put your hands on some of those tiles when we go up to the roof.
Also new to the tour this year is the 116-year-old O'Neill residence.
Talk about the house at 1230 Castle Rock that was built in 1902.
So the current owner of that home is Joyce O'Neill. Her family's lived there for 30 years, and there are little stories about the O'Neill family in every nook and cranny of that home, and they're fascinating stories. She has, every nook and cranny is also filled with little knickknacks, and each one of those knickknacks has a story about 30 years of living in that home. The attic has a unique feature. The chimneys lean, so they kind of angle like this. There's 2 of them up there. It's also the only part of the building that has enough free square footage to have dances, and so the family used to go up there at New Year's and have dances in the attic. There's a disco ball up there, in fact.
Participants can tour any of the historic structures at their leisure beginning at 10 o'clock Sunday morning, with the exception of the Cascadian. The Cascadian will have guided tours on the hour, and reservations are required for that. Tickets are $20 and can be purchased by visiting the Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center's website or in person at the museum. Dan Kuntz, NCW Life News.
Well, Eric, we got some fascinating old homes here.
Absolutely. Have you ever been in the Cascadian before?
I've stepped inside the lobby a couple of times, and like the Bruce, you know.
Yeah, back in the day, Cascadian was quite a hoity-toity hotel.
It really was. In fact, I'm told that the late Paul Harvey, radio news commentator, actually didn't perform there, but gave a speech there one time.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I'll be darned. It is 19 minutes past the hour here on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. If you'd like to let us know about some news, or you got some videos to share, or a photo, maybe a photo of an old homestead here in North Central Washington.
We love the old historic shots.
How do they get a hold of us, Steve?
Yeah, well, it's pretty simple. You can do it any number of ways. Social media, always a good idea. Facebook and Twitter on our pages there. Also, on our website, there's a little tab at the top of our page that says Contact Us or News Tips. Just click that and communicate with us that way. Or on our email, the address, news@ncwlife.com. And as always, we have our hotline for breaking news. Let us know what's happening out there when it happens, 888-NCWL.
By the way, need to thank everybody for following us on Facebook.
Yes.
It's pretty incredible what has happened in the short little lifespan of this little TV station here in the Wenatchee Valley as far as how many people are following us now on Facebook. So
and we're getting a free dinner out of it, too.
Yeah, we get a free dinner out of it, too. We hit a milestone. So Brenda's treating us to dinner tonight, so we're excited about
I think
that.
we're over 11,000 likes now on our Facebook page.
Something like that. We're pretty close to it anyway. But thank you for following us on Facebook. And you keep wanting to pop back there occasionally because Caitlin, periodically, she'll just throw up some video up there and just give us a view of our lovely camera views from north central Washington.
In fact, she posted the drone footage, I believe, of the Columbia River here.
Brandon was able to shoot yesterday, and if you haven't seen that, it's pretty remarkable to see, especially the flooding and inundation of the Apple Capitol Loop Trail. If you normally recreate there, you're not able to access a lot of it right now, so you're going to have to be taking some side roads.
Coming soon to a news story, did you know that Tucker has been doing a time lapse of the hotel construction on the river and in East Wenatchee, so we'll have that coming to you.
Yeah, speaking of our PTZ cams, coming up next, sports news, the Seattle Mariners. We actually have highlights today, Steve.
Yeah?
Because they were on Facebook.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, I know, it's kind of strange.
No copyright problems here then.
No, so we could share that with you. And the big guy on the mound yesterday for Texas, Bartolo Colon. If you've never seen this guy before, Caitlin was like, what the... yeah, we'll have that for you coming up
he
in
does
sports.
double duty as a sumo wrestler, by the way.
Look like me out on the mound, for goodness sakes. Also, the Eastmont Wildcats with a big victory last night. We'll do that coming up next here on the NCW Live channel and Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Thanks for watching.
It's a free walk-in job search assistance center. It is designed to help job seekers with the tools that they need to find a job. We have partnered with libraries in 5 other cities, providing the same types of services that we offer here, just there.
Just walk in, we have laptops, and we can help you with resume, cover letter.
All of our services are paid for by the revenues earned in our store. Goodwill is just a tool that the community is using to help their neighbors find a job. Goodwill, there's more behind the store.
I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCW Live channel.
I'm Eric Grandstrom with NCW Live Sports.
I'm NCW Live News Director Steve Hare.
Catch us on LocalTel Channel 12.
You can watch us on Charter Channel 19 or stream us live on ncwlife.com.
Follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook.
Where we cover the local high schools, the Wenatchee Wild, and the pro teams out of Seattle.
On Saturday, we have a 90% chance of rain.
Catch it all right here on the NCW Live channel. 23 minutes after the hour on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley for this Thursday, the 17th of May, 2018. I'm Eric Grandstrom filling in for Dan Kuntz as we take a look at sports from last night. And how about the Eastmont Wildcats? They advanced to the next round of the state 4A soccer tournament with a narrow 2-1 win over Walla Walla at Lee Bofto Field at the Apple Bowl last night. The Blue Devils scored first early in the first half. Flavio Espinoza would tie it with a penalty kick late in the half. It would go to half tied at 1. Johan Espinoza would score the game winner in a rough and tumble second half in the 67th minute. To the highlights we go. Sebastian Moraga and Matt Wisen had the call right here on the NCW Live channel.
Espinoza, good touch. Lopez, Espinoza, the shot across! And Mr. Sergio Bravo had the 1-0 tally on the tip of his boot, Matt Wisen.
That was dang close. They're seeing that back door again. Walla Walla is having the same problem Eastmont was having a little bit with their communication and tracking on the far side.
Walla Walla and Eastmont here at the Apple Bowl. Rejected by Edson Aviles. The shot! Walla Walla takes the lead with the massive shot from the right corner of the box by number 9, Juan Montero, Matt Wisen.
Yeah, completely caught Eastmont off guard. I was watching him tryouts and warm-ups, and he had that smooth turnaround shot with lots of power on it.
There's the corner kick. Out of the box, getting the left foot ready is Flavio, bounces off a couple of players, and a penalty kick. And a penalty kick, what does the referee say?
Yep, studs up, caught him in the leg.
Kick. Yep, penalty kick for Eastmont. Montero, Espinoza, Montero, the shot, goal, 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 goal! Flavio Espinosa for the Eastmont Wildcats, and we're tied at 1. This could be dangerous. There's Romero Virrey. Marking by Sebastián Avilés, charged from behind. That looked like a penalty kick to me. Referee says no go. Play continues.
I think I would have pointed to the spot there too.
Down the flank it goes. Shot across. Let's see. Espinosa. Goal, 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 goal. Johan Espinosa for the Eastmont Wildcats. 67 minutes 30. There's the shot. Into the box, the header, and Mr. Rishko with one of his finest interventions of the second half.
You know, Walla just needs to settle down and keep that ball on the ground.
Whistle indicates that this ball game is over, and Eastmont moves on to the second round of state after defeating the Walla Walla Blue Devils by a hard-fought 2-1 final score.
So congratulations to Eastmont. They advanced to the quarterfinals of the State 4A tournament. They'll face Mount Vernon this Saturday, also in the Apple Bowl, and that will kick off at 1 o'clock. Turning to the prep schedule for today, it's a short one, but we do have track taking center stage. The 4As will meet for the District 6 tournament at Eastmont High School. The 1As will get together for their district to meet at Cashmere High School. Both of those start at 4 o'clock this afternoon. North of the border in beautiful British Columbia, yet another overtime game last night in the Royal Bank of Canada Cup. Ottawa came from behind to beat Steinbach by a final of 5-4. So the standings heading into today have Wenatchee on top with 7 points. Chilliwack and Ottawa each have 6 points, and the Junior Senators are done and have locked down the number 3 seed for Saturday. Wellington is in 4th with 3 points, and Steinbach last with 2 points. Now, Wenatchee plays its final game of the round robin play today at 2 o'clock against Wellington. A wild win, and they lock down the number 1 seed heading into Saturday. So what does that mean? Well, according to math done by our friend Arch Ecker, there are 16 scenarios of the Wild that finish with 13 of them having Wenatchee as the number 1 seed. So Saturday, the number 1 seed plays the number 4 seed, and then the 2 seed plays the 3 seed. The winners will go on to Sunday for the RBC Cup Championship. By the way, that game time, 4 o'clock on Sunday. We're hoping that the Wild, of course, are a part of that. Well, the Mariners were on Facebook yesterday. Major League Baseball has a deal with Facebook where they're putting various games on Facebook, streaming it so you can watch it for free. So, by gosh, the Mariners were on Facebook yesterday hosting the Texas Rangers in a day game at Safeco Field. Let's take a watch.
The big sexy, and he dominates in this building. Gordon lashes that one down the left field line. Long run, Gallo. It's a foul ball, and it's a sliding.
Got it.
Catch.
Heck of a catch.
Yes, Joey Gallo was shallow and towards the line, but he still had to go a ways. And Colon salutes his left fielder for a terrific catch.
D. Gordon standing in. The first pitch to him. Line drive right to the shortstop. Profar reaches up and snares it and takes a hit away from D. Gordon.
And of course, here he is 3 innings in, and he's allowed just 1 hit. So this is what we expected from Cologne.
Here's designated hitter Shin-Soo Choo. The pitch on the way.
Choo launches one to center. Gordon back at the wall, leaps, and he got it. Little by little, he's gotten better and better in center field.
Look at him gauge himself, go for the jump. But what D. Gordon has done by moving to center field, his value has gone through the roof now. So Kalepa on at first base, and here is second baseman Rugnet Odor. He's going to say,
and a high fastball finishes off Odor. Christian Bergman has been absolutely brilliant here. Mariners have a need, and Bergman has filled it. Bartolo Colon against Andrew Romine here. Gambles at second. Called strike 3, and down goes Romine. Bartolo Colon through 5.
Start that right at the left-hander, and thing runs back over.
2 hits, no walks, his first strikeout. And that's 2 outs. And here comes Shin-Soo Choo. Bergman there, changing speed, striking out Choo, and he has limited the Rangers to just 2 hits. And there's 2 outs quickly, and here comes Gallo. And a swing and a miss, and a gorgeous off-speed pitch. Bergman going toe-to-toe with Bartolo Colon.
2 on and 2 outs for the Rangers here in the top of the 8th inning. No score. Here's leadoff batter Delino DeShields.
DeShields into right field, and that's a base hit, and it's going to scoot to the corner. After it is Haniger. Coming across is Kiner Falefa, and finally a run in the ball game. And it's Delino DeShields who delivers. Bromine up in a one-run game. Zunino, the catcher at first. Goes back inside. Right back. He lived on the outside the whole at bat, comes in and gets the strikeout. The Mariners have not had a lot of success, obviously, against Cologne in this game. Breaking ball, Freitas to left. Gallo is there and he makes the catch, and that's the second out.
Leave him in, Bannister. Leave him in.
Well, Big Sexy exits.
I feel like standing up and cheering. That was a 20.
I got goosebumps, man. That's awesome.
Bags are loaded. Texas hitting with a 1-0 lead. 2-2. Swing and a miss. That's a live ball with 2 outs. And a run will score. Runner coming home. Healy's throw. And they score 2 runs on a strikeout. And the Rangers add 2.
Yeah, so the Rangers score 4 runs in the top of the 9th. They go on for the 5-1 victory. Maybe the Mariners don't want to be on Facebook Watch ever again. But how about the spot start for Christian Bergman? He goes 7 innings, no runs, only 2 hits, struck out 5. Why he's not up on the roster full-time, I'm not sure, but Mariners split with Texas. They host Detroit tonight at Safeco Field in the first of 4 games against the Tigers. It'll be Matthew Boyd and Marco Gonzalez, the former Wenatchee Apple Sox pitcher, going for the Mariners tonight. Finally, NCW schedule, our broadcast schedule. Coming up tonight, it's hockey night, Thursday night, so we've got some more of the RBC Cup as Wenatchee takes on Steinbach. That'll be at 7 o'clock, and then Wenatchee's amazing game that went into a shootout with Ottawa. That'll be tomorrow night at 7, and then on Saturday night at 7, today's game, which is at 2 o'clock this afternoon, against Wellington. We'll air that Saturday night at 7 o'clock, and then also we'll have a replay of that Issaquah-Wenatchee lacrosse game Saturday afternoon at 2. So just a look ahead as what's happening here for the NCW Life channel in the world of sports. You can find out more on our website, ncwlife.com. That's sports news at 32 minutes past the hour as we continue on here for this 17th day of May. Time for the obscure holiday of the day today, and it is National Pack Rat Day. Have too much stuff. Yeah, no kidding. After moving my parents here a few weeks ago, or I guess about a month ago, my dad is the absolute definition of a pack rat. So here's what you do or don't do to celebrate National Pack Rat Day. Don't clean your room. Don't clean your basement. Don't put anything away. We're celebrating the fact that you've got all that junk all over the place on this strange day, National Pack Rat Day. Just get rid of it. Just Vominos. Call Vominos. Have them come over and get rid of it for you. It's a tripping hazard, especially, my parents are older now, and you got all this stuff all around the house, and they could trip and fall. You don't want that. Get rid of it. And here's a rule that we have at our house. If you haven't done anything with it, touched it, looked at it, done anything with it in 3 years, it's gone. Get rid of it. 17th day of May. Let's take a look at what happened on this day in history. 1875. It was 142 years ago. Aristides won the Kentucky Derby in a time of 2:37. Back then it was 1.5 miles. Now it's just 1.25 miles. There's Aristides. They didn't have cameras back then, sorry. 78 years ago today, in 1939, the Columbia Lions and the Princeton Tigers played the United States' first televised sporting event. Now, I thought it was a boxing match that was the first televised sporting event, but no, they say it was collegiate baseball in New York City. That shot right there of the man standing on what looks to be some sort of a platform, that's basically what we're doing right now on the NCW Life channel. 63 years ago today in 1954, the U.S. Supreme Court handed down the unanimous decision Brown versus the Board of Education in Topeka, Kansas. Kat and I were talking about that before the show started today. That's only 63 years ago. How about that? Also, 13 years ago today in 2004, the first legal same-sex marriages in the U.S. were performed in the state of Massachusetts. Birthdays today. Only a couple to tell you about. Dennis Hopper, American actor and director, who's now no longer with us, was born on this date in 1936, of course, famous for Easy Rider and Blue Velvet. I don't know if you've ever seen Blue Velvet. That's a weird, screwed up movie. Also today, Simon Fuller. I know, that's a household name, right? There's not a lot of birthdays for this 17th day of May. English talent manager and producer created the Idols series. Well, he's known for that. Happy birthday to Simon Fuller. He's 57 today. Hey, if you have a birthday to pass along, we'll certainly take it and mention it here on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. All you have to do is send us a note on our Facebook page, or you could email us to news@ncwlife.com. 35 past the hour, and we've got Mike Magnotti standing by with Everybody's Entitled to Mike Magnotti's Opinion, so hold on for that. Also, we'll be joined here in the second half of the show by Zachary Miller, who is running for the District 2 position with the Chelan County Commissioners. But first, before we go to the commercial break, we have our own Megan McPherson with this week's Pet of the Week.
Hey guys, Megan McPherson here with the NCW Life Channel, and we're here with Renee Parkins, the Development Officer of the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, and we are here with Louie, too. Louie. Can you tell us about Louie?
Louie is about 6. He's a dachshund, and he is just the sweetest guy. He loves to go on walks. He likes to take his little toys with him, though. He is best for a grown-up house. He's not good with small children. We don't know really so much about cats. We don't know what his history is, but I know he's not good with other dogs, so probably I would say just a one dog kind of adult family would probably be the best thing for him. He does love to go on walks. He's pretty chill. He likes to be the center of attention, and he does have a pretty big personality, so it's gonna take somebody that can kind of work through some stubbornness and things that can come along with sometimes with dogs. He is really well behaved though. He just, you know, likes to do his own thing sometimes, and he needs a person that's gonna help keep him in line a little bit.
If someone wants to adopt Louie, what should they do?
I always encourage with the animals, especially the dogs, to come down and get to know them. We have great areas like this one where you can bring them out, play with them a little bit, get to know their personality outside of the kennel and away from the other animals. If you find that Louie is the fit for you, and look how adorable he is, why wouldn't he be? Then you can go to the front desk, fill out the paperwork. He is neutered and has his shots and ready to go home with somebody today.
Do you have anything to say, Louie? The Wenatchee Valley Humane Society is located at 1474 South Wenatchee Avenue and is open Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Give them a call at 509-662-9577 or visit their website at wenatcheehumane.org. This is Megan McPherson, and that's our Pet of the Week from the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society.
I have a doctor who knows what they're talking about.
It's just so much more hands-on and friendly than anywhere else I've ever been.
It's really great to walk into somewhere where you feel welcomed and you feel accepted.
We've just been grateful for the care and respect that we've been given there.
And here when I come to visit my doctor, I'm not afraid to ask questions.
It's not just about getting you in and out.
I love my care at CVCH. It's awesome. Give it a try.
Hi everyone, Brent. Hey, don't mind, we're just making a commercial here, Randall. You're okay. Hi everyone, Brent here. You're gonna love this. When you see this, come down and see us behind Nissan. I can do it. I can do it. The all-new 2018 Nissan, that's done, I'm done. We can't do it. Come down and see us at Town Nissan behind Costco in East Wenatchee. Better performance, better proof.
The Arbiter of Stoke is a series that highlights a variety of outdoor adventure sports that are available in the Pacific Northwest. I dedicate my time to enjoying this natural playground. The decision is yours. How will you keep your Stoke?
Yamaha ATVs and side-by-side vehicles are proven off-road. Designed, engineered, and tested in the real world, they provide the best balance of off-road capability, comfort, and confidence, delivering performance that is truly proven off-road.
Happy spring, Wenatchee Valley from Collins Fashions. We are so ready for your Wenatchee lifestyle special events and vacation time. Colorful tees and tunics, embroidered and colorful ankle jeans, capris and shorts from Not Your Daughters, Jag, Liverpool, French dressing, etc. Beautiful mom of the bride or groom dresses, sundresses too. New shoes and sandals from Soft, Bueno, Nicole, Naked Feet. Spring Brighton handbags and jewelry are amazing. Please stop into Collins and let us style and pamper you, where fun meets fashion in downtown Wenatchee.
Walk and Roll Wenatchee's Asian Express is fast, fresh food. Wenatchee Roll's new Poke Hawaiian Fresh Salad Bar is the best. Fresh greens, fresh seafood, and hand-made sauces. You know what you want. At Walk and Roll, create your own style meal. Hot off the line chicken, beef, and veggie plates. Lunch or dinner to match your appetite. Fresh sushi, hot entrees, Poke Fresh Salad Bar. It's new. It's Walk and Roll Wenatchee, fast, fresh food your way. Located on 5th and Mission.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, I've told you about this Amazon Echo thing that I have in my house that my wife and I got. This thing echoes and answers when I talk to it. Well, some of my friends have advised me, they've warned me, don't get this thing because they say that all this Echo Alexa thing is a tool for the government to eavesdrop. Those folks say the CIA or whoever is hacking into our Echoes, our droids, and our iPhones and listening to everything we say. Well, I say that if the government really wants to hear Rosie and I argue about whose turn it is to thaw out some identifiable freezer bag for dinner, well, they're more than welcome to listen if they want to. Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
The NCW Live Channel is your home for local news, local weather, and events including live local high school sports. Watch inspiring local shows featuring local people. Don't miss Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Let's Learn, Guada TV, Street Talk and Other Stuff, the 12th District, Life with Lisa, and the Arbiter of Stoke. NCW Live Channel is your local TV station.
I definitely recommend them for new floors.
They made it so easy.
It looks like a whole new house.
Great service, great prices.
Want a recommendation before you buy new carpets or floors? Don't take our word for it, just listen to our customers.
And they guarantee their work for life.
Flooring America, where friends send friends. Select pet-friendly, kid-friendly, oops-friendly carpet and floors are on sale now.
And we welcome you back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on this May 17th, Thursday. I'm Steve Hare. Eric Granstrom, your guest host, will be returning here in a few minutes, but now it's time for our live interview segment of the program. And of course, this week has been filing week for those of you out there who might like to run for public office. Well, this is the week that you have to formally file for that position. Joining me right now in our NCW Live studio, one of those who is seeking election to a post in Chelan County. Of course, Keith Gaynor is retiring from the Chelan County Commission representing District 2, mostly the Upper Valley areas that are represented there. Well, we have one of the candidates who's filed for that position. His name is Zachary Miller, and we welcome him to the program right now. Hi, Zach.
Hi, Steve. Thanks
you
for having
prefer
me
Zach or Zachary?
Actually, people have called me both for most of my life, so I don't even really notice much anymore.
Just don't call me late for dinner, right?
Yeah.
The old saying goes. Well, thanks, and welcome to the program.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me on. It's great to be here talking with you.
Let's learn a little bit more about Zachary Miller and what he brings to the table and the county commission. First of all, I guess the standard question, what is driving your candidacy? Why are you running?
Absolutely. Well, I've been thinking about getting into public service for a number of years. In all the different work that I've done, I've had opportunities to serve people and to serve my community, and that's always been such a fulfilling thing for me. And so I've thought about different ways that I could do that, and when I saw that Keith wasn't going to be running for re-election this year, I thought that this would be a great opportunity to get in there and continue to serve.
So what do you bring to the table in terms of experience?
Well, after I finished college, I ended up working in a nonprofit. And during that experience, I really saw the power of what good organization was like. I came in basically as a secretary for a weatherization department for a Community Action Council, and really quickly started working on how we could organize the department better. And we were in a process of going from moving things to physical files to actually digitizing everything. And something that I tell young people all the time is when you work at a place, let them see what you can do. Follow the things that you're really good at, because good employers will take advantage of that and they'll put you in places that work well. So I actually really quickly started working in all the different departments within the organization, helping them to reorganize what we are doing and coming up with a consistent way for the place to function. And so within that, I joined the Human Resource Department, which was a great way to work across everything. And that really showed me the power of working well with people, and you want to empower the people that you're working with. You want to train them well. You want to have a consistent way that the entire organization is functioning. And so after that, I actually moved back here to Leavenworth and started my own business with my dad. We had a stonemasonry business together.
Cool.
And I just enjoyed being in this community.
Now, you're a Leavenworth native, correct?
Yeah, I grew up in Leavenworth, went to school here, and then ended up at Central Washington University after that, and came back here to be able to work with my dad and focus on the masonry, and then also had a chance to work in a different ministry setting as well, too, working with youth primarily.
Oh, wonderful. Understand that you are now employed by Tall Timbers?
Yeah, I work as the assistant director at Tall Timber right now. I came on a few years ago, and my main function there is to run the day-to-day operations.
What is Tall Timber?
Tall Timber is a retreat center that's located up above Lake Wenatchee. Actually, those earlier shots that you're showing of the county on the third video that was up above Lake Wenatchee, it was looking up towards Grasshopper and Dirty Face, and Tall Timber is actually located right down in the valley of where that is. Really beautiful setting. It's been a place that people have come for a retreat for 65 years now. So I'm really honored to be a part of that legacy of what's happened there. Like most camps, most people think of summer camp and kids, and that is a huge part of what we do there. We have about 600 kids that come through in the summertime, but we're actually open year-round, and we serve about 3,500 guests that come the rest of the year. Wow. A lot of those in the wintertime. So the operation there, like a lot of nonprofits, it's a small team, but we have a lot to do. And so I have a great role there because it's primarily focused on caring for the staff as we take on the operation of what we do to have those retreats for all of our guests.
Well, obviously, a part of your expertise might be in tourism.
Yeah. You know, it's
a big industry that's growing here.
It is in the county. You know, there's such a balance between all of those different things. I know that I faced that even with Miller Stoneworks. There was so many people that came into the area because that they saw something they liked and then they wanted to build a home here. And that ended up being a large part of my industry, was working with second homes that were there. And then you have to balance that with all of us who live in this area and the expense of that and all of that. And that's one of the reasons that I wanted to get into public services, because I find that we do so well when we find a way to honor one another in these conversations and come to a place of common ground.
Zachary Miller, a candidate running for Chelan County District 2 Commission in the upcoming primary, and of course you'll be running against, right now, of course filing period hasn't ended, but you're one of 4 candidates running for that position. Now this is a partisan position. What are you running as?
I'm running as an independent. And the reason for that is that I see so much good in both parties. And I've found that for me, I've always landed in a place of diplomacy and wanting to see people work together. And it was something that I really had to search inside of myself to figure out, how do I be authentic? How do I present myself to the public in a way that best represents where I want to be? And I think as being an independent, I'm saying that I want to see people come together, and I think that both perspectives on things are always so valuable.
It's easier said than done in many ways, especially with the controversies that we face here in Chelan County, what with marijuana, grizzly bears, and rental housing and that type of thing.
Yeah. You know, the marijuana growing is definitely a huge one. That's probably the question that I've gotten asked the most since I've publicly stated that I'm running. And here's the way that I approach something like that and looking at it. First of all, like I said, is I want to see us come to a place where we understand one another. So you look at people that have come into this community and they say, I want to run a business. I'm going to grow something. I'm going to contribute in that way. And that's a great thing, whether it's someone who's going to grow a farm or put a garden in their backyard or have an orchard. And now growing marijuana is something that's legal within the state. And so people have invested a lot of money and they've gone through the process of trying to make this work. And that's something that we should honor and we should respect, and we should figure out how that functions within our community. Now, the other side of the coin of that is that symbols are really important in our life. And for a lot of people who've grown up where marijuana wasn't legal, it wasn't something that was seen as a positive. That's a hard mindset to change. And it's not that they're against the people who are doing that. It's that this thing symbolizes something that they might not want in their community, or they just don't like the effects of what come with that, with the smell, with some of the other things that are the contentious parts of it. But you know, we all do things to try to serve one another, try to help. If you have a friend that's struggled with addiction, things like that, when you have them over for dinner, you act a little bit differently. You might not open up that bottle of wine or something like that, simply because you care about who they are. And so what I'm saying is that in our own lives, we find ways to honor one another within this conversation. And I think that there is a place where we can look at those two sides and say, you know what, I don't think that people are so far apart in this. And, you know, the old grade school Venn diagram, where's the middle? I think there's a lot more in the middle, because most people actually want to find a way for this to function within our community and in a way that everyone can respect. And so I know that the county is deeply involved in this right now, but I do think that there's a place that we can come out of this where we can honor growers and we can honor the traditional ways that people have lived and come out to a place of goodness in it.
Do you have any experience in governance? Have you served on any governing boards?
Not besides just functioning within the boards that I've been a part of. When I worked in ministry, I had a chance to be able to sit on the board there for that church and see how that worked, and then just getting to interact with the Tall Timber Board as well. But no, this would be my first chance getting into government.
Good deal. I'm going to give you the last word with about a minute that we have left in the program, so tell us more about Zachary Miller and what he brings to the Chelan County Commission.
Well, I think that one of the most powerful things that I can bring is that I don't have an agenda coming into this. There's nothing in my background where I'm coming in where it's one specific issue or it's one piece of the county or the community. I'm in this because I love people. I always really have, and I've found that public service is one of the most powerful things and meaningful things in my life. And I'm at a place where I'm thinking about my future and where I want to be involved, and I want to be involved with our community in this greater sense, and so I'm looking forward to running.
Well, we wish you the best of luck in your endeavors, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you again as this campaign continues.
All right, thank you.
You betcha. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
That's okay. Again, that's Zachary Miller, candidate for the 2nd District of the Chelan County Commission. I'm Steve Hare. We'll be back with Eric Grandstrom, your guest host, with Wake Up Wenatchee Valley when we return.
I'm Jenny Rojanasatian, and this is Guada TV. Every week we will be bringing you a first look at North Central Washington business, tech, and education news. You'll hear from local influencers and innovators who live right here in the Valley. Together, we'll discuss hot topics, current events, and resources that can support your business, our schools, and this community. Join me every week, and let's get inspired.
I have a doctor who knows what they're talking about.
It's just so much more hands-on and friendly than anywhere else I've ever been.
It's really great to walk into somewhere where you feel welcomed and you feel accepted.
We've just been grateful for the care and respect that we've been given there.
And here when I come to visit my doctor, I'm not afraid to ask questions.
It's not just about getting you in and out.
I love my care at CVCH. It's awesome. Give it a try.
When you call Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, you get 35 years of experience and customer service in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's friendly staff strongly believe in repairing before replacing and service all major brands of HVAC units. Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning is your local, independent, trained comfort specialists, proudly serving all of North Central Washington. Call 884-6444 today.
The NCW Life Channel is your home for local news, local weather, and events including live local high school sports. Watch inspiring local shows featuring local people. Don't miss Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Let's learn. Guada TV. Street Talk and Other Stuff. The 12th District. Life with Lisa. And the Arbiter of Stoke. NCW Life Channel is your local TV station.
Beautiful morning here on the start of this Thursday, the 17th of May, 2018, but the weather is going to change as we get into tonight. So let's first take a look around before we get to details on our forecast at our weather window this morning. And wow, look at this. Gorgeous morning here in the Wenatchee Valley. Thanks again to Sky5 of LocalTel for providing us our camera shots from all around North Central Washington. There's our first camera angle. Second camera angle, we'll look back towards the same direction just from the opposite way. And look at that river flow on the Columbia River right now. And we do have lots of creeks that are at their flood stages, that is, Steve. So
floodplain.
Yeah, so be careful about that as you get out and about to enjoy some of this weather here this weekend. Also, our camera view on camera number 3 this morning. A little breezy up at Lake Wenatchee.
Right.
As we look up towards the White River.
Zachary Miller's house up there. That's what you were saying.
Yeah,
that's where he was referencing this photo earlier. That's where I live, up in the tall timber.
And our fourth camera shot here this morning as we look around North Central Washington. Also a little breezy there in Cashmere with our apple. Look at the enchantments in the distance there.
Boy,
absolutely
enjoy the sunshine while you can.
Spring definitely has sprung here in North Central Washington. The forecast for the Wenatchee Valley and North Central Washington, though, changing tonight with clouds moving in. Slight chance of showers tonight. 79 for the high today, so still pretty warm. Tonight's low 56. Tomorrow we'll see some showers in the morning. 71 for the high. The weekend forecast kind of a mixed bag. If you don't like the weather, wait about 15 minutes. It'll change. We'll have some clouds. We'll have a little bit of rain. We'll have a little bit of sun, a little bit of everything, and mild temperatures, 74, but then popping back up to about 80 on Sunday. So the warm temperatures also mean the rapid snowmelt continues, and that means flooding for all of North Central Washington. Here you see our drone footage from yesterday that you can watch the whole thing on our Facebook page, by the way. But just a reminder to recreationists that the Apple Capitol Loop Trail is underwater for great stretches of it in both Chelan and Douglas counties.
And the wildlife area preserve there is also closed to access.
Okay, so we'll keep you up to date on the issues regarding flooding. Of course, Okanagan County, worst flooding they've seen in over 40 years, with tons of farms that are underwater with the flooding on the Okanagan River and the tributaries up there.
And they're also providing sandbag relief to apparently a section of Highway 97 up in Okanagan County that's threatened by that flooding too.
I know Riverside has had definitely some problems up in Okanagan County. For more on the flooding and the weather and other information available at your fingertips by going to our website, ncwlife.com. Steve, it's been a pleasure to be here with you once again. We used to do this on the radio back in the day.
Are we going to do this again tomorrow?
If you
would love to
wake
have
up
you here.
and come in here, and okay, all right. Well, Dan's not going to be here, so somebody's got to be here. I know Caitlin doesn't want to come.
And you're such a convivial host.
Convivial?
Convivial.
Oh, okay.
It's my word of the day.
Hey, I was looking at some notes for the weekend. We've got a busy weekend, of course, again coming up this weekend. Wenatchee Valley's Super Oval has a big giant race Saturday night.
Oh, really?
Up on Fancher. Yeah, they've got touring late model cars that are coming into town.
Oh, neat.
So we'll tell you more about that. Also, the Wenatchee Wild, don't forget, play this afternoon at 2 o'clock. If you want to watch the game, it's on Hockey TV. You need a subscription for that, but down at Riverside Pub They put the game on there.
Oh, they do? Oh,
have
cool.
a beverage in the
Go
afternoon
Wild.
and watch the game. So 2 o'clock against Wellington today. We'll have the results for you coming up in our newscast tonight. That's going to do it for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
High five.